The first verdict is, we, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of felonious assault as charged in count one of the indictment signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Second verdict, we, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of felonious assault as charged in count two of the indictment signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Third verdict, we, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of murder as charged in count three of the indictment, signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Fourth verdict, we, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of murder as charged in count four of the indictment, signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Fifth verdict, we, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count five. Sixth verdict, we, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count six of the indictment. Do you want the jury pooled?
No, Your Honor, thank you. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the community in court, thank you so much for doing your civic duty.
All right.
You're all free from admonitions and instructions. Everyone could have a seat. Mr. Grubb, Mr. Grubb, you're.
It's not right. You get to walk away free. She never looked in. It's not right.
Mr. Grubb, you're hereby discharged. What? Yes, that's fine. Are we going to get a deputy assistant for the jurors?
Yes.
Have just been watching. The verdicts are in, not guilty on all of the charges for Connor Grubb.
Clearly a very emotional courtroom. You see Connor Grubb now walking away with some of his family members, but just moments ago, you could clearly hear the family of Takaya Young, very emotional, gut-wrenching, in fact, saying, this is not right, this is not right, you're walking away free. And the judge quickly said, Connor Grubb, you are now discharged, you are free. And so again, not guilty on all counts of felonious assault, murder, and involuntary manslaughter. You also heard, as they read the verdicts, that they said that this was by unanimous counts.
Yes, and we heard Judge Young ask if they wanted to poll the jurors, and the answer, I think, Angela, was a resounding no.
Yes.
So we did hear that, and of course, we did hear the emotion of Takaya's grandmother. That sounded like who I recognized her from the video. So again, we have the information on your screen, as you can see, counts 1 through 4. We're talking about felonious assault and murder, not guilty on those counts. And again, Connor Grubb found not guilty on all of the counts that he was facing out of this August 2023. This whole incident we've been following for that entire time.
More than 2 years that we have been following this very emotional case, and really at the crux of the case was whether or not this shooting was justified. Again, it started as a shoplifting call. There were 2 officers on the scene. Connor Grubb had always maintained that he shot in self-defense when he saw that car come towards him. And so the question of whether this was justified or not, there were experts on both sides you know, defending either position, but clearly the jury coming back with this unanimous verdict saying he is not guilty of all counts involving the death of Takaya Young.
And that did seem to be a point for the experts that were brought in on whether this was a necessary move for Connor Grubb to be in front of the car. Could he have stepped away? And that seemed to be a point of contention at one point.
Yes, and so we do know that the family of Takaya Young, they have already said that they have filed the civil lawsuit
Yes.
against Connor Grubb. So clearly this case for him and the family not yet over. However, the criminal side of this case, and again, you're looking at video from that day back in August, the criminal side for now appears to be through this first step. I don't want to say over yet.
Right.
But for sure, right now, a lot of emotions. We are waiting to hear from both the prosecutors and the defense attorney as they come together with grips of this verdict. They'll be talking to our crews. We have two teams there at the courthouse.
And our reporter, Lacey Crisp, has been following this since August of 2023. And in fact, the other day on 10 TV News at noon, she and I were talking, and she was saying that when they had to bring in the alternate juror, there was some question. The jurors wanted to have a bit of a timeline and review, and Judge Young told them that they would have to go with what they had. Again, as you see on your screen, the trial started on November 3rd. This is a jury of 12, 8 men, 4 women. You'll recall Connor Grubb did not testify. He did have a statement. 17 people were called to the stand, and those included the coroner, witnesses, and experts.
Connor Grubb did face a maximum sentence of life in prison had he been convicted of murder. And, when it comes to use of force trials like this one, it's not always about whether or not he killed Takaya Young. Again, whether there was objective, reasonable thinking behind that shooting.
Yes. So we are going to show you some video now. This is a live picture of the podium. We are going to be hearing from the people who've been involved in all of this. We are waiting for those interviews. Angela just mentioned the prosecution, the defense, and any others who will probably be willing and come into this room so that we can hear from them after what has really been an emotional, near 2-week trial. Again, murder trial of Blendon Township police officer Connor Grubb. Again, this incident stemming, if you are just joining us, from the August 23 shooting at the Kroger store on Sunbury Road there in Blendon Township. Connor Grubb and Takaya Young there in the parking lot. We've shown you that body camera video several times, but again, today's news, the big headline is Connor Grubb, the Blendon Township police officer, found not guilty on all charges.
So we are expecting to hear from the prosecutor, also the FOP. They will be talking about this verdict. But again, closing arguments, they had only 2 days of full deliberations for the jury. So there will be a lot of questions about, whether 2 days, some analysis into whether this came back too quickly, given that all of this was a unanimous felonious assault. It seems like that they believe that this shooting was justified.